have a huge round of applause for Amit Jain.
Good morning and welcome everyone. This is quite a gathering and I'm being told that this is going to build up during the day, but what really strikes me is the sheer diversity of people I've met outside while having a cup of coffee. So we've got people from the brands, the publishers, the agencies, technology, exciting people from the world of AI. This is a truly diverse community, and I think most importantly, it's not just the speakers and the sessions here, but the time we'll be spending outside learning from each other. But yeah, a few reflections. I was just listening to Monica over here, and I think, Monica, you've been far too modest about MMA. In my experience with MMA over the last couple of years, MMA has really emerged to be a very credible industry platform. So I'd like to, congratulate the entire team over here, Monica, Tanya, Rudra, Pooja, Priyanka, and of course the redoubtable head of our Asia MMA, Rohit, who's flown down from Singapore to be with us. Yeah. So all of you, big congratulations to you, because for most of you, MMA is relatively new, but over the last 2 years, MMA has almost doubled its footprint within the country. It exists globally, and Rohit will talk more about it. But in India, now, as Monica mentioned, more than 15 marketing toolkits over the last couple of years. And they've been hand-holding the industry as we grapple with the immense change which has been happening around us. So today, MMA is a truly diverse body, as I just mentioned in the morning. And the presence of this audience over here is a very good testimony to what's happening. Very importantly, I think MMA has won the right to talk about a really big topic, which is building winning marketing organizations. And this has been driven by the fact that there have been really comprehensive toolkits, research papers, not just put up by MMA, but all its members. You saw that on the board. We've got the best-in-class brands in the country, both multinational as well as our Indian brands, the agencies, the tech enablers, the big media platforms. All of them have put together something which is really meaningful. Yeah. And what's very nice is, since this is a non-profit for industry body, all this is available to everyone over here. So you've got the placards on your table with a QR code. You can actually get into it, browse what's the content there. Don't do it now. Yeah, I just want 5 minutes of your attention. But this content is available to all of yourselves. So we are democratizing content over here. And over the day, you will realize there's lots of good, exciting stuff which is going to be coming your way. And very importantly, talking from my perspective as a business guy, MMA is not about flashy charts. It's not about sexy presentations. This is really about creating a culture within your organizations on building marketing excellence. Yeah. And some of our board members will be talking later in the day about the fact that they have actually piloted this. I can see Sunita right here, who had put up her hand, taking whatever are the marketing playbooks and converting them into reality in a thriving business. It's a big challenge to take theory and take it into practice, but that's what MMA and some of our members are beginning to do. Yeah. So coming to the theme today, Winning Marketing Organizations 2.0, Rethink, Relearn, Rebuild. And this theme has been inspired by a global study which MMA has done. And Rohit is going to talk more about the global credentials of MMA. But the study, very simply, the bottom line is organizations which lead on revenue and on customer acquisitions can be distinguished by the kind of investments which they make on marketing capability and the footprint. Yeah. And there is data which backs it, and you'll be able to access it as you get into some of the work which MMA has done. And now coming on to the team today, it's Winning Marketing Organizations 2.0. So this is now the time to raise the bar. And today's focus is going to be around data, emerging technology, specifically AI. We have a really significant section now, immediately after this, led by Rohit and Rahul. And I know I'm standing in the way of what you guys have really come for, but let me just set it up for you. And of course, digitizing commerce. We'll have ONDC over here. We've got some excellent stuff from media. And what you're going to have is a really rewarding day. So put away your mobile phones and focus, because today you're truly going to get challenged in some of the stuff which you've been thinking about. So speaking for L'Oreal, the Winning Marketing Organization is a journey which we embarked about 4 or 5 years back. Well, precisely 4 years back, just before the pandemic. And no surprises, with a lot of inspiration from what we were learning from MMA, and on a fundamental belief around our mission, which is beauty that moves the world. We believe in building deeper connections with our consumers and our brands through beauty tech and some of the great tools which we've been picking up thanks to our association with the Modern Marketing Association. And the 2 pillars which we've really been focusing on, which is stellar online plus offline consumer experience and providing data-backed digital and media services. Very importantly, what we have learned over the last few years as we go about the Winning Marketing Organization is the way we thought about marketing organizations has been stood on its head now. Yeah. So the standard marketing, the organograms, etc., they just don't work. And to give you an example, we now build tribes around customers. So as opposed to the classical brand activation kind of setup, now we've got tribes which are multifunction. So you've got the brand activation, the pure brand guys, insights, supply chain, finance, and of course, a big chunk of technology and data. All of them come together seamlessly around customers for creating value for the customers and the consumers they choose. And then they break up again and go and mold themselves around the next opportunity. So the sheer flexibility of marketing organizations has been a huge learning for us at L'Oreal. And the other piece of it is, not everybody is born doing this great stuff. So building centers of excellence around future capabilities, which are driven by the changes which we are seeing around ourselves. So building COEs around data-led media, around using data for consumer activation, influencers. Once we had the COEs in place, we had the confidence of moving now almost 80% of our media online, and big chunks of it onto influencers, because the kind of returns which we are seeing over there has exceeded many of our internal expectations as well. But this is not an advertisement for L'Oreal. I think this is just to underline the fact that we deeply believe in investing in winning marketing organizations. And now, of course, all of the stuff, the good stuff which we thought we had done over the last 4 years has been challenged. 2 weeks back, I was attending a talk by Sam Altman, the founder of ChatGPT, to make it very simple. And pretty much over there, through the use of clear use cases, he brought out the fact that marketing as we know it might stand on its head over the next year. And that's exactly going to be the section immediately after me. So this really calls for completely rethinking on the paradigm of marketing. And which is why today's theme, we've got a big part of the emergence of the insurgents, the disruptive players. What can we learn from there? So this is not about marketing theory. We are trying to make today's session as real time as possible. And it has been proven time and again over the last couple of years. I was at an awards jury yesterday in Mumbai, and the kind of brilliant work which we are seeing on the use of digital artificial intelligence, you don't read about it. We were seeing now entries from a variety of organizations, and most of them insurgent organizations. So let me talk about what insurgents are. Bain and Company, through a study, has found that companies which keep a founder's mindset, that mentality, and are deeply driven by customer experience, innovation, digital transformation, are 2.6 times as likely than their peers to be in the top quartile for revenue growth. Yeah, now a lot of numbers. Fundamentally, the insurgent mindset drives growth. There's no two ways about it. And that is why we've got a galaxy of speakers and participants in the panels later in the afternoon, which are people who will really talk about the insurgent mindset. We've got the founder of Sirona, which is a female hygiene company. Deep, he'll be coming this afternoon. He'll be talking about how they built Peabody, a woman hygiene brand, with very little resources, with the use of social media, to build a brand which is now growing faster than all its peers in the category. He'll be talking about the response to sanitary pads, which are driven by the big multinational brands, and how instead of doing a Me Too, they started upgrading consumers with better products and moving them into cups. And now I'm given to understand there are more than 2 million women who are actually using the product in the last couple of years. So there's some outstanding insurgent marketing which is happening there. We've got a very exciting speaker, Astha, who's the founder of New Shop. And this is just to tell you that all great marketing is not just online. So this is an offline first model, which has created in the last 3 years the largest C-store enterprise, convenience store enterprise in the country, which is predicated on, surprise, surprise, because I can see some retailers over here, 0 discounts, 0 cost of acquisition of consumers. And despite that, they are right now the fastest growing and the biggest. Around simple ethos of flexibility. They have the ability to build stores in a week flat. Everything which goes into building a C-store goes into a 14-foot container. And they have now the ability to build 200 new stores every month. Yeah? This is a 3-year-old startup. So that's the kind of stuff we'll be seeing, and that's the kind of challenge which some of the incumbent brands, which I represent, are going to be following. So now, the incumbents, and I'm looking at some of you whom I recognize very well, we can either adapt, rethink, relearn, as is the theme of the conference, or lose a lot of market share. So we have, and I'm saying we, because clearly we are the people who are challenged. We got the advantage of large marketing budgets, big resources, global learnings, but under serious challenge from the insurgents. And this is our opportunity today and in the future, given the great material which MMA is generating, to learn from the insurgents and figure out what we can do. There's a famous analyst called Joe Root, who rightly put the question for the big incumbents who are competing against the disruption is how to combine their own scale and advantages with the speed and agility of the insurgents. So not just be big, but be very, very fast and agile. And very few firms are doing it today. So while I'm making no tall claims, but of course, my personal experience over the last couple of years is focused in L'Oreal. And, we were confronted by, we're a challenger brand, believe it or not, because our main competitor is more than 3x our scale. What do you do in something like this? So we stood the marketing handbook on its head, and we decided to build a coalition. Over a period of 2 years, specifically during the pandemic, we trained almost 20,000 of our salon partners, 20,000. We are talking about 100,000 people on social marketing, on geo-targeting, with the help of our colleagues from Google, Meta, and such like. And thank you very much for building this coalition for us. So we actually created a bunch of 20,000 marketing touch points who started drilling into the cohorts for premium brands on a highly localized, relevant, meaningful manner, and created a marketing machine today, which has become an extension of our L'Oreal professional brands. That's just one example. We've been deeply diving into technology, and yeah, another 2 minutes, using virtual try-on. If you go online onto a Nykaa or an Amazon or any of our websites, you will see the advantages of now trying out our brands virtually, which obviously drives amazing consumer experience and much higher conversions. Yeah, so, focusing on what is really important today is the fact that there is an immense learning opportunity, which is driven by technology, which is driven by the insurgents, who are right now sprinkled liberally around you, and there'll be a lot more of them coming here. Because MMA is a true melting pot. Given the fact that it is a not-for-profit for industry body which democratizes all learnings, we have the unique position of getting the best which is out there and making it available to all of us so that we can learn, build connections, not just over here in the sessions, but outside when we're having a cup of coffee and creating a better, more innovative and a collaborative marketing approach there. So with this now, I'd like to formally open the forum to some of the most amazing speakers over here. And I'm really excited about meeting a lot of you and learning your stories and your thoughts on what it takes to create a winning marketing organization. Thank you very much.